Emma Carter grew up in a wealthy family where success meant only one thing: becoming a doctor. When she followed her passion for architecture, instead, her parents publicly rejected her and forced her to leave home at just 18 years old, with only a suitcase and a dream. Emma rebuilt her life through determination, sacrifice, and hard work. 10 years later, she returns to a family wedding as a successful architect, and the people who once called her a failure don't even recognize the woman standing before them. What happens next changes their lives forever. Her own parents called her a failure and kicked her out at just 18. 10 years later, she returned as a multi-million-dollar architect. What happened next left everyone completely speechless. My name is Emma Carter, and I was born into one of the most respected families in Chicago. My father, Dr. Michael Carter, was a world-famous heart surgeon. My mother, Sophia Carter, owned one of the city's largest law firms. My older brother, Daniel, was already studying medicine at Harvard. In our house, there was only one definition of success: become a doctor, become a lawyer, become someone the family could brag about. Anything else was considered failure. But ever since I was a little girl, I had dreamed of something completely different. I wanted to become an architect. While other children played with toys, I spent hours drawing houses, bridges, schools, and beautiful buildings. In my sketchbook, I imagined creating places where families could laugh together, children could grow up safely, and communities could truly feel like home. Whenever I showed my drawings to my parents, they barely looked at them. "Nice hobby," my father would say. But hobbies don't build successful lives. As I grew older, the pressure became unbearable. Every birthday dinner turned into another lecture. When are you applying to medical school? Have you started preparing for the entrance exams? You'll thank us later. I always smiled politely, but deep inside, I knew medicine wasn't my dream. I wasn't afraid of hard work. I was afraid of living someone else's life. Everything changed on the night of my high school graduation. Our mansion was filled with relatives, family friends, and colleagues. Crystal chandeliers sparkled above the dining hall, while waiters served expensive meals. Everyone congratulated my brother for another academic achievement. Then my aunt turned toward me. "So, Emma," she asked with a smile, "which medical school did you choose?" I took a deep breath. "Actually, I'm going to study architecture." The room became completely silent. You could almost hear people stop breathing. My father's smile disappeared. Instantly, "What did you just say?" "I've been accepted into the School of Architecture at Northwestern." His face turned red. "You applied without asking me." "I applied because it's my future." My mother slowly placed her glass on the table. "You've embarrassed us in front of everyone." "I don't understand," I replied. "I earned my admission. I worked hard. I'm following my dream." My father slammed his hand onto the table. "Dreams don't matter. Our family has a reputation. You will become a doctor." For the first time in my life, I looked him directly in the eyes. "No." The room fell silent. "Again, I respect you, Dad, but I won't spend my life chasing someone else's dream." Several relatives looked away. Others whispered quietly. My grandmother wiped tears from her eyes. My mother stood up and crossed her arms. "If you walk away from medicine, you walk away from this family." I thought she was joking. Then she carried a small suitcase. into the room. It was already packed. My clothes, my books, everything. They had planned this long before. Tonight, my heart broke. You knew this would happen. She didn't answer. Instead, she placed the suitcase beside the front door. My father pointed outside. You have 1 minute. I looked around the room, hoping someone would stop them. My uncle looked at the floor. My cousins remained silent. Even my brother, my best friend, growing up, couldn't meet my eyes. No one defended me. No one spoke. I slowly picked up the suitcase. I hope one day you'll understand why I had to choose my own path. Without another word, I walked toward the door. As soon as I stepped outside, the door slammed shut behind me. That sound echoed through the quiet street like the end of an entire chapter of my life. I stood there with one suitcase, $83 in my wallet, and nowhere to go. The cold evening wind blew across the empty road. For the first time in my life, I was completely alone. I pulled out my phone and called the only person I knew would answer. Lily! My voice cracked. They kicked me out. There was silence for a moment. Then my best friend said 4 words that changed everything. Come here, right now. That night, I slept on Lily's old couch. Her apartment was tiny. The ceiling leaked. Whenever it rained, the furniture was worn out, but it felt warmer than the mansion I had just left behind. Lying awake that night, I stared at the ceiling with tears. In my eyes, I had no idea how I would pay for college. I didn't know where my next meal would come from. I didn't know if my family would ever speak to me again. But as I held my sketchbook tightly against my chest, I made myself one promise. One day, I'll build a life so meaningful that no one will ever be able to tell me my dreams were worthless. That promise became the beginning of a journey that would change everything. To be continued.